Hello everyone, my name is Chris. In this video I would like to share the easiest yet most effective way to play heavy. I'm gonna structure this guide as a set of certain steps that you can follow in order to maximize your enjoyment of the game and win rate when it comes to ranked tournaments. Let's get started. Tip number 1, make sure that your game is running at the highest frame rate possible. Outside of the game, you can go for NVIDIA or AMD settings, depending on the brand of your graphics card. Inside of the game, let me show you my settings. I feel like they are closest to what you can possibly get when it comes to the competitive side of the game. You want to go for full screen mode for less input lag, highest resolution. You can actually go for 4:3 stretched, but it feels like this game does not have the truly stretched one. I'm not sure. VSync is going to be disabled. Choose the resolution scaling method to your preference. I find AMD performance mode work the best for me. Field of view is gonna be at 100, so you wanna check your enemies on the left and right side of your screen. Motion blur is gonna be disabled, lens distortion is gonna be disabled, this thing is gonna be on low, and everything else is low. Outside of that, outside of the game, wash your mousepad, upgrade your mouse glides. You can also go for the grip tape on your mouse. These are gonna be $20 upgrades that will drastically improve your in-game performance. Tip number 2, before playing the game, make sure that your wrist is ready to go. Use stretching and warming up exercises in order to prevent carpal tunnel, and then hit the kovaaks for 10 to 15 minutes in order to feel ready, in order to get into the zone and get the aim, the great aim, right from the start. I'm gonna leave a link to stretching exercises and kovaaks below. Tip number 3, join the competitive Discord and search for teammates. I can't stress enough how important team play is in the finals, and you really want to communicate, you really want to in-game lead as a heavy player, you really want to be enabled and enable your mediums. Make sure that you get yourself good players and you play together. You learn strategies, you improve as a team. Tip number 4, make sure that your team setup is correct. For the heavy, I highly advise you to go for the shield. Go for the shotgun, RPG, dome shield, and C4. You can optionally choose between a Lewis gun and SA-1216, but at the end of the day, you want to be as intimidating on the point as possible. When it comes to your medium players, you want them to have a healing beam, scar, zipline, jump pad, and defibrillator. This is gonna be your main healer setup, and for the flex healer setup, he can actually change the zipline for the APS turret or an explosive mine, depending on the preference of the player. We will speak about each and every single setup and why exactly these items in the next tip. Tip number 5, fundamentally understand the possibilities and limitations of your compositions. When you are running heavy double medium, you'll have to understand that you have 2 players that enable you with movement, and then you enable them with point presence and ability to steal and destroy enemies that are trying to steal your cash out. It is very important at the early stage of the game to play behind your teammates so they can use their movement abilities to get you closer to the desired spot, and then later on, when you are engaging on a target, you are playing in front of them so you can bubble in front, so you can use your shield in front, as well as they always have the chance to heal you and heal each other. It is very important to play this composition, as this is hands down the easiest and most effective way to get the highest win rate possible. Really difficult to kill you, really difficult to do anything against you, because even if one player dies, he instantly gets defibrillated, and then you always have the bubble to reset, you always have the shield to reset, and it's just very difficult to push you. You can play this in an open space, you can play this in rooms, you can play this in suspended structures, is that how it's called? And overall, this is hands down the best strategy you can go for. Tip number 6, understand how to defend the cash out. So you have gotten the vault and now you are defending the cash out. Hands down, the easiest way to do it is to play at the top. You can do it by destroying the floor or the ceiling, depending on where are you standing, and then getting to the higher point in order to look down on the cash out. It's going to be a lot easier to 3-1 with bubble. It's gonna be a lot easier to RPG players that are trying to steal it. It's gonna be a lot easier to heal your team, as you are getting the peekers advantage, where you can see them but they cannot see you as clear. And then you add gas grenades, flames, like blowing up to the equation, and at the end of the day you will have insane advantage. When it comes to resetting, you want to jump down as 3, heal up together, and use the jump pad to get the height again. And when you are playing with a shotgun, you will be the most intimidating person on the server inside the buildings. Tip number 7, understand how to steal cash outs. It is very important to know how to do it. Again, you want to play from top to bottom. Make sure that your medium player is in a voice call and he can always jump at you to the highest point of the building, and then you slowly work towards the cash out from there. Maybe you want to break the floor with your C4s or RPG. Maybe you would want to jump on your enemies with bubble and a 3-1 call. So how it usually happens is that you bubble, you drop in the bubble, you fight within it. When you don't have bullets, or you are low, or any of your mediums are low, you press Q for the shield, you shield your team and stay alive. And then when they are shielded but can shoot, you have massive advantage over your opponents. Tip number 8, let's go into some nuances when it comes to heavy gameplay. First of all, if you are not doing anything and just rotating, it's gonna be very detrimental for you to place 2 C4s on a throwable on the map and then hold it in your hands while you are running. This will allow you to get an additional burst damage that will drastically turn the fight around, because at the end of the day you have limited amount of resources, and if you have 1 barrel that can literally blow up a medium, like from the get-go, you will have huge advantage over your enemies. Another thing that I would ask you to do is, when you don't have a barrel, run with your C4 and try to start the fight with a C4, because the burst damage, the splash damage is just way more superior than anything you can do with your shotgun. Make sure that you use the C4, and if you are out of range for your shotgun, the best thing you can do for your teammates is to shield them, is to want to make sure that you press W together behind the shield, and it's a one-way wall. They can't shoot you, you can shoot them. And when you're close, take down the shield, shoot a few shots, bring it up, maybe wait for opponents to run out of ammo, and then finish them off. Simple as that. That was it for today's little video. Hopefully you have learned something new and interesting. Leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Take care.